cylinder in a horizontal floor, on a horizontal floor. The cylinder has a volume of 1200 centimetres cubed and a height of 40. So the cylinder exerts a force of 90 newtons on the floor. Work out the pressure. So before we can do anything, we need to find the area of the circle at the bottom. And we don't need to do an awful lot because area in this case equals the volume over the height, which is 40 goes into 1200 30 times. So we know that the area of the circle on the bottom is 30 centimetres squared. Now we can use this pressure equals force over area. So we know that the force is 90 newtons. So pressure equals force, which is 90 newtons, over 30 centimetres squared, which means the pressure equals 3 newtons per centimetre squared. And that is written down there, so we'll pop it in there. Right, here we have, oh, it's lovely when they give you these. So use these graphs to solve the simultaneous equation. So that literally is this line there. This is that line there. And where they meet, which is right there, is our answer. So our answer is 6, which is the x-coordinate, and minus 2, which is the y-coordinate. And that is how you do that without, we'll put them here, without overthinking it too much. Right, here's a pentagon. Angle AED, so this one here, is 4 times angle ABC, which is this. So if we call this x and we call this 4x, and then we've got to just find out how big AED is. So we know 3 of the 5 angles, and we know that to find the angles in a pentagon, we do 5 minus 2 times 180, which is 3 times 180, which is 540. So we know that all of the angles altogether will be 540. Now we do 120 plus 135 plus 110. That's written very poorly, but 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 365. So we take 365 away from 540. So that gives us 35, 75, 175. I realise I didn't do that. So that's all angles would be 540. Those are ones we know. And this means that the 4x plus the x equals 175. And that means that 5x equals 175. So just divide that by 5 and we get 335. And so that means that AED is 4 times 35. And that's 140 degrees. And that's how we do that. So write this in that form where A, B, and C are integers. So let's start by doing the top first. Let's square all the things in that. So we do 6 squared is 36. X to the 5 times 2 is x to the 10. And y to the 6. So that's what we get on the top. And on the bottom we get 3 times 4, which is 12. X to the 2 times x, so that would be x cubed. And y to the 7 plus times y to the minus 3, so that's y to the 4, because we take them away. So now we do 36 over 12 is 3. X to the 10 over x to the 3 is x to the 7, because we take them away. And y to the 6 over y to the 4 is y squared. And that's our answer. I'm not going to write anything else out. Right, Martha plays a game twice. This is her chances of winning or losing each game. Find the probability that Martha will lose at least one game. At least one game. So that means that we could probably just take the idea that she's won both and take it away from 1. So we could do 8 times 9, which is 72. 5 times 2 is 10. And then we go 1 minus that, and that would give us, so the other 3 must add up to 62 over 72, because she could lose that one and lose that one. She could lose and win, and then she could win and lose. So that would be 62 over 72. And that should be the answer. I say that as though I don't really know. I haven't actually looked. So y is directly proportional to x. So we say y equals, we can do the little thing, y x, y equals k to x, which is an unknown. When y equals 24, 1.5, x equals 1.5k. So 24 over 1.5 equals k. So if I think 24 over 3 is 8, so that means that k equals 16. Now rewrite it. So you say y equals 16x. And then we know when x equals 5, so y equals 16 times 5, so y equals 80. And then write 1 to the 16th, 1 over 16 in the form 4n, where n is an integer. Right, so how do we get from 4 to 16? We do that by going 4 squared. So we know that that's part of it. How do we get from 16 to 1 over 16? We do that to minus 1. So how do we get from 4 to 1 over 16? Well, we do it to 2 times minus 1, which is minus 2. So n is minus 2. Work out the value of this. So 8 to 5 over 3 minus 9, 3 over 2. So 8, the way I'm going to reconstruct this is 8 to the third to the 5 times 5 minus 9 to the half to the 3. And what this basically means is 8 cube rooted to the 5 and 9 square rooted to the 3. So 8 cube rooted is what goes into 8 3 times. So it'd be 2 times 2 times 2. So it's 2 to the 5 minus, and square root of 9 is 3. So that's 3 to the 3. And these are kind of proper numbers. So 2 to the 5 is 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. And 3 to the 3 is 3, 9, 27. So the answer is 5.